And welcome to the Fantasy Hockey Hacks. Oh God, I screwed this up already. We're only 30 seconds in. Oh God. Fantasy Hockey Hacks Hangout here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For the first time in a long time, we've got all the hacks on board tonight. I'm your host, Bruce Gunther. Tonight we've got Tyler joining us back from his Arizona vacation.
Welcome, it's cold here.
It's very cold, yeah.
It just got warm here.
Yeah, this sucks.
And from Marky's house, we have John Enns.
Howdy, howdy.
And Devin's joining us from his basement. Welcome, Devin.
As per usual. Hey guys, good to see the hacks all together again. It's been quite a while actually since we had all four of us together. It's good.
It's been a long time. You got a different camera angle tonight out of the basement, or do you move things around?
Me?
Yeah.
You know what? The Christmas tree is gone, and then we got some new IKEA storage back here.
He's not mirroring anymore. Something sideways here.
I always thought the stairs were in the back. That's why.
No, that's like another bedroom. There's all the anyway.
Oh, okay.
Nothing. The stairs are actually to my left here for anyone that cares.
They used to be to the right. Something's backwards.
Okay, I guess I'm not mirroring anymore. There we go.
I haven't been here since last year, so
this ugly thing is still here. It's all right. So we are got a good show here for you tonight. Devin did all the show notes. Thanks, Devin, because I had like a severe case of writer's block this week. I just couldn't think of. Well, I wrote one. I think I put two things in there. Maybe.
You contributed. I just added a little bit on top to what you already had there, and then I took care of hot and not. So, but that's pretty typical.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Because
no
this
worries.
week is just Anyway, let's just jump right into it, should we?
Let's do it.
We're all feeling good. The Edmonton Oilers are on an 11-game winning streak, and they beat the hell out of the Leafs. Like, how much better could it get? Probably shouldn't say that out loud, but how much better could it get? Really, like.
Not much better, Bruce. Not much better. That was and coming back from 2-0 down was great.
Absolutely. Online, they are right now gunning for O'Keefe's head, so it should be interesting to see what happens in Toronto here over the next little while.
Yeah, you know what? I'd like to hear from Tyler. Did you actually watch the game, buddy? Because we haven't heard from you for a while. So what's your thoughts on the team right now and the direction they're taking and the game last night?
I got in late last night, so I only caught third period on TV. It's great that they could beat the Leafs. They've done the same thing that the last four teams have done to them. Have a lead late in the third period and lose. So I really thought that was a scheduled loss for Edmonton. 10 in a row after the Leafs have done that against a couple other teams before. They got to lose at some point. Obviously, it wasn't against the Leafs because Edmonton did what everybody else has done to them the last couple games. So I still kind of think Seattle is going to be a scheduled loss, and then we'll see what happens on Saturday. Things are just going right. They still need another top four defenseman to replace Cody Ceci. They still need two bottom six forwards, and they need another goalie. But 10 in a row, 11 in a row is great.
Yeah, it's nice. I think they've got a chance to win tomorrow night, too. I mean, they're going to face a hot goalie in Joey Decord, but there's no reason they can't beat Seattle. And then who do they play Saturday?
Calgary.
Oh, right. And they're playing well right now, too. They've won 4 in a row here.
That game, it'll go to overtime, and Edmonton will probably lose. That's just it's what Calgary's done for the last 2 years.
Just end the streak in the worst way possible against Calgary.
Yeah.
Well, and they'd be awfully happy to be the team that ends that streak too. That would be.
Yeah. Well, and let's be honest, that backhand goal from Draisaitl last night,
That was ugly.
probably shouldn't have happened.
No. He always gets those trash ones, and everyone says he's great.
Hey, you just go easy on Draisaitl. He's just fine.
Go.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'll agree that was a weak goal. But beyond that, Draisaitl's fantastic.
I think Jones even said he took his leg off the post and it went between the leg and the post.
But he was like in the middle of the net. I don't know what he was doing. I know you don't expect a backhand shot to come from the goal line when you're facing like the first row and not the net. But it was pretty awkward.
It was.
Pass probably as opposed to shot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Cheating a bit anyway.
Yeah.
How about Hyman's goal? Like, it got called back, but I mean, just
That
the
was
effort
nice.
there. Yeah.
Worst contract ever.
And speaking of that goal, from our episode on Sunday talking about the video review, perfect opportunity for it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's what I like it for, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what the offside review is for, is for like blatant offside. But those are also what linesmen are for. So
correct.
I mean,
right, but like I'm saying, don't go to a video review for 15 minutes and then decide, oh, we're gonna do this now.
Well, it's funny because after we talked about that, and after McDavid commented, it's almost comical because now the reviews, the last 3 of them, I think, have been a total of 15 seconds. Like they're really quick now, and it's pretty funny, whether coincidental or not. I just thought that was pretty humorous.
Oh, that's good. Maybe they'll get the, what do they call that, more efficient? They're probably watching every zone entry now with like extra little bit, so that way they can be on the ball if it gets called back or if it gets flagged as offside.
I think it was so blatant that, I mean, they didn't even have to. It took them 2 seconds to look at it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we screwed that up."
Yeah,
that's fine. I feel bad for Hyman. They said he's had 6 goals taken off the board now from offside review.
Yeah, I think that was the first one that was him not like banging away in front of the net and being interfering with the goalie. First one that was actually like, wow, that was really nice.
And then took it back. Yeah, no, solid effort all around. Stu Skinner, how good is he? Was it Holmberg or whatever his name is that on that one-timer absolutely robbed him?
He didn't get all of that one-timer, but still, it was a great save.
Still.
If that would have been Marner or somebody else, Nylander, shooting that puck, it's probably in the net. But still, that's a good save.
It's a nice save. Yeah, we'll take it. I take back everything I said about Stu Skinner in the first 2 months of the season.
I don't, but good save.
It's different when you're playing with confidence, and he's definitely playing with confidence now where he wasn't earlier in the season.
Yeah. Yeah, 15 and 2 in his last 17, they said. So he's on a roll. Bruce, you put some in the notes here. We should talk about the deadline and what the Oilers' shopping list looks like. And I think goaltending is probably a good place to start. I don't know. Tyler, you mentioned it off the top of the show. So who are we looking at for backup goaltenders for the Oilers? Like, Pickard's been good, but you can't go to the playoffs with Pickard as your backup.
No, I think they're still hoping that Jack Campbell is the backup. Ugh. And like in his last 10 starts, he actually has a reasonable save percentage. I don't want him to be the backup, but I think that's Edmonton's plan. I think there's a lot of teams looking for goalies. I don't think the Oilers are going to be able to get a guy that's going to fit in their cap and still be able to get the bottom 6 and a defenseman that they want. And I think that they're probably just going to hope that Skinner can keep going and they can add the defenseman and a bottom 6 forward, Corey Perry, and maybe somebody else, and hope that that is enough. And when they get in the playoffs, Skinner just rolls with it. I think that's what's going to happen.
I hope you're so wrong on the Campbell.
Get Corey Perry out of here.
I
don't need that kind of negativity.
They've already got Kane. They've got enough negativity. I don't think it's going to be any worse. Yeah,
no, Perry's happening. And actually,
I think so too.
I've hated Perry in the past, but I think that kind of proves the point, John. Like, none of us as Oilers fans like Perry because we've played against him in playoff series, and he's a pain in the ass to play against, and
he's going to be completely useless in the regular season. Completely useless. But he's going to score 2, maybe 3 goals in the playoffs that nobody else is going to get.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that'll be the entire point of having him.
Yeah. Yeah. And they could be big goals.
More points in the playoffs than he will in the regular season. But there'll be important points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I think he's still got enough left in the tank to be an effective 3rd or 4th line. Like, you look at our bottom 6 right now, he's an upgrade on at least 2 or 3 of those guys, as well as they've played.
Yeah. I mean, even if you have the option to, like, Perry's in and you can put in Holloway, or you can put in Yamark, or you can do something like that. The only thing is that Perry's not going to kill penalties. He's not going to get any time on the power play. So, I mean, it's got to be the odd chip in from the 4th line.
Yep. And I think he's okay with that at this point in his career.
Yeah, he kind of has to be at this point.
Yeah,
Not
really.
coming
He
up
has
for anything else.
no other options. Cece, guys, we've talked about Cody Cece a ton. It's time to upgrade the second pairing. I think we've seen the Nurse Cece thing is not working, and the other two pairings have been so great. You don't really want to break them up.
Who do you go and get to replace CC?
I think there's tons of guys that you can replace him with that'll be as good. It doesn't even have to be a right shot. It could just be a left shot guy that plays right side, and they just work with it. It's too bad that Kulak has played so bad this year because I think you'd be less worried about it if you could play up there. You can't, obviously, this year. But CC, I think most of us knew when Edmonton signed him that this wasn't going to be great. And he played really good last year. And now he's Cody CC again. So I think they'll have options to move him because I think some teams probably value him. I think there's a better fit there for Edmonton to get.
They need someone who just brings something different. Like they need a hard-nosed defensive defenseman, somebody who, like CC just doesn't do a whole lot for you. I don't think, right? He's kind of average at everything.
Yep. And he has always been average at everything.
Yeah. So just bring me in a really solid defensive player that maybe is a bit mean.
Adam Larson.
Don't. Yeah, I love Adam Larson. But that's not happening. So
I feel like we talked about
One for one.
1 for 1. The deal's 1 for 1. Yeah, the trade is 1 for 1.
I've only been saying that now for 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah, we can hope. Right?
Maybe they can coax Shea Weber out of retirement.
No, I think what they should do is they should coax Clefbaum just to come back in like an advisory role, and then maybe that's enough to bring Larson back to the team, and we'll see what happens.
Because that would be nice. He's missed badly.
Yeah. What else? What else you got for the others here? Bruce, you said, haha, the Leafs suck. Okay. Where do we want to go with that one?
We can kind of continue that one on when we get into around the league down here, because I kind of figured that we'd pile on a little bit because, well, we can.
We should, speaking of piling on, we should give a little bit of credit to Ryan McLeod and maybe no credit to Austin Matthews, who sort of stepped out of the way of that shot.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, he looked and he kind of made zero effort. He just kind of moved his shoulders. Didn't want to catch one of the chicklets, I guess.
Yep.
It was coming high, was it?
Well, he went top corner, right? But I mean,
okay.
It's no fun
to
catch anything in the chicklets. I'm telling you, I don't blame him.
He's got to keep his pretty face for those RBC commercials.
He does, yeah.
Those
Endorsements are worth a lot of
RBC
money,
commercials. Yeah, but those commercials are terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, let's pile on here a little bit. So, they're currently on a 4-game losing streak, and I think they've had 2-goal leads in most of those games, and have ended up losing them. William Nylander is 0 points in 4 games, signing his big ticket contract. Which, hey, I'm going to pile on. He got his contract, so why should he play anymore?
Isn't that the best? Isn't that the best? Like playing out of his mind, signs a stupid contract that he shouldn't have.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm done. That's enough. I'm good.
It's actually hilarious. Yeah.
They'll trade him in the offseason for Merzlikins from Columbus. Because they need a goaltender.
It's funny because I don't think that they can do a whole lot. Like they got to wait for Tavares' contract to be up before they can really fix anything.
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned last week they have, after signing Nylander, they have 11 restricted free agent and 11 UFAs and RFAs at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And they only have $21 million left to sign 11 players.
And they also gave Bertuzzi the contract, Max Domi the contract, John Klingberg, when they really needed structured defensive players. And they have enough top 6 guys that they could have kind of spread it around and had at least a top 9. And instead they just doubled down on forwards and left no goaltending and no defense.
They went full Bruce this year.
They went full Bruce this year, and
It doesn't work, Bruce.
We'll see how well it works out for them at the end of the season. I'm guessing my fantasy team will probably work out slightly better but in the end, Leafs will probably still make the playoffs, most likely.
It's going to be tight, though. I was just looking at that before we jumped on tonight, and I mean, the Leafs are in the first wildcard spot, but Tampa's 1 point back, Pittsburgh's 2 points back, Washington's 2 points, the Islanders are 2 points back, the Devils are just 3 points back. Like, there's teams that
you would imagine what the fire will be in Toronto if they miss the playoffs.
It could happen.
They'll light the city on fire.
Well, there'll definitely be some big changes if they miss the playoffs. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Like, I agree with you, Bruce. I think they'll probably make the playoffs, but it's just things are interesting in the East anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow! I haven't. Like I said, I've been out of it for this week. I didn't even look at the standings. I didn't realize they had dropped into a wild card spot.
Yeah.
I guess when you lose 4 in a row, and that's going to happen.
The Red Wings now 51 points are sitting third in the Atlantic.
Nice.
Alex Lyon, Bruce, I'm telling you, Alex Lyon. Pretty
good.
I
know, but I'm not trading Marner. Sorry. I just as much as I'm not a really big fan of Marner, the guy still puts up points. So,
for the record, I offer Bruce, Alex Lyon, and Rupe Hintz for Mitch Marner.
And $50 probably.
$0 and $0.
No, there was no cash. No cash considerations.
No, Bruce came out with Evander Kane for Mitch Marner for Rupe Hintz.
Oh, Kane's on the block, eh?
I had to. Yeah. Tyler makes notes.
Yeah, taking notes.
I thought about sending you the trade first, Tyler, but I realized you were in Arizona, so you probably wouldn't reply. So I figured I'll go to Devin first.
Oh no, I'd reply.
Well, and you guys know I like Evander Kane, but I've got McDavid and Bouchard on my roster, and I'm not sure how much longer Kane's going to stick on that second line. Like, they just moved him back up there, but Ryan McLeod played really well with Draisaitl and Fogle.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think that's sustainable, but I mean, good for him for right now. His spot is on the third line.
McLeod?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. If you can play third line center, that's probably what.
Same with Fogle.
Fogle's played really well this year.
He's played out of his mind, and he's still a third line player. So that's why, like, you see him skate with the puck, it looks like the puck is on fire, and he's trying to put it out. So that guy should not be playing with Draisaitl.
That's fair. I'm with you. That's not ideal. And that actually, I heard the Oilers. I think it was Stauffer maybe mentioned it, somebody else, but they're in the market too for a top 6 winger. It sounds like. I don't know how they're gonna make all that stuff work, but
well, they have to. Yeah. Like, they need a top 6 forward.
So Travis Konechny is one of the names that have been tossed around.
Oh, Gensel, I think, was another one, wasn't it?
Gensel's another one. Who would you rather have, Gensel or Konechny?
Probably Konechny. Draisaitl needs a guy that is like Yamamoto, just not 5'8". Somebody that goes into the corner and retrieves pucks and just plays nonstop. That's what Draisaitl needs. That person has to go to the corner, get him the puck, and then he needs to feed it over to Kane. And that's what that line has to be. They don't have that right now. Like, McLeod actually did that on the goal that he ended up scoring last night. He went into the corner, got the puck back, put it back, got it back again, and put it in. That's not his role. That's not his spot. That's great if he can do that on the third line. But they need somebody that's an actual top 6 forward that can retrieve pucks, just like Hyman does for McDavid. They need the same thing for Draisaitl on that second line to actually be dangerous in the playoffs, where they don't have to go back to just putting McDavid and Draisaitl together.
So they got to clone Hyman and put him on the second line.
Yeah, something like that. They need bunting.
Yeah, is that an option? What's his contract status?
No, he's got another 3 years. He's a bum. But
he's
somebody like that.
Okay. Well,
somebody like that with just this year left.
What's Vancouver wouldn't trade him anyway, but Connor Garland be another one like that.
Yeah.
Vancouver's not trading because they're not going to trade someone like that when they're in a playoff spot.
But I think they want to. They've been talking about trading him for a long time. They'd love to get out from under that contract.
Yeah, but can you do that though when you're winning?
Well,
Yeah.
they're playing over their head too right now. To be honest, I was looking at there's two teams. It's Vancouver and Winnipeg, that are really outperforming what they should be. Like just looking at the analytics, right?
Yeah.
Their PDO is way over 100, and
Well, when I looked, so I was looking at something for the put in for the notes tonight. I was looking at players that had ridiculous shooting percentages. So, well, one we'll get to Mr. Reinhardt a little here later on. So he's shooting at a 27 something percent clip. But you look at Vancouver had three players. It was Besser, Pedersen. I forget who the third one was. I don't know if it was JT Miller. There were also Pedersen was shooting at 19 point something. Besser was in the 20s, and the other one was in the 20s too. So they had three players up there shooting really high shooting percentages.
yeah. And when I looked at their PDO, it was like 107 or something, or 108. So,
Yeah.
like, team shooting percentage is high, save percent. Like, it's just
That'll
they're a good
drop.
team, but there's going to be some regression. It's coming.
Yeah.
You think so?
But the problem with a guy like Connor Garland is he's making almost $5 million a season for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and that's not going to work for the Oilers.
No.
It's got to be a pending UFA that they don't think they're going to sign or might be able to sign, and they'll have to get rid of somebody else to make the money work.
Yeah, agreed. It has to be a pending UFA.
Yep.
Yep.
And let's see, Elvis wants out of the building. So Merzlikins, I don't know if he's officially said. I read somewhere that he did tell reporters that he had requested a trade out of Columbus. So he's starting here. He's going to be starting Friday's game, I think, as well. He started the last game here for Columbus. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. Columbus has said they are going to stick having three goaltenders on the roster because they want Tarasov to play, but they are very much afraid that if they put Tarasov on waivers, he will not be a Blue Jacket the next day. So they are going to keep three goaltenders, at least for the foreseeable future anyway.
For now, yeah.
But I guess the obvious place for Elvis would be Jersey, although Nico Dawes is making a nice impression here for the starting role. I don't know if he'd be the answer. Would Merzlikins be the answer in Jersey?
I don't know. His numbers aren't good enough, and there's too many years left on the contract. I think it's got to be like a similar player that they end up trading for. It can't be picks and prospects. It's too much time and too much money and not good enough numbers. It'd be a lot like John Gibson, and I think John Gibson's probably a better goalie than he is.
Yeah. Better pedigree anyway.
Yeah.
I'd take John Gibson in New Jersey before Merzlikins for sure.
Yeah, I just mean similar like contract status, term, and numbers. I think if you put Gibson in New Jersey is going to be better than if you put Merzlikins there.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
So, and same with anywhere else.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out here for the rest of the season. Speaking of the rest of the season, watching the Ottawa Senators here, they've actually been worse since their coaching changed. You don't see that too often, but they are not moving in a great direction after jumping out to a bit of a lead against Colorado and then completely falling apart in the third period again. I don't know what has to happen to the Senators. Are they going to have to?
They need to not have a senior citizen as the head coach. The advisor, oh guys, that's not anything. We promise he's just coming on as an advisor. Oh, he's the head coach now. No, everybody knows he's not going to be the head coach next year. So what does that change? How do you get a bump from it? You don't. It's just you brought in the old guy that used to be here that's here again. That's not going to be here next year. What doesn't do anything for anybody.
It's just another fill-in.
And the other thing that was said too is that when your best player on the team is the oldest player on the team, that's not necessarily a good thing either. And they've said it for a while now. Giroux has been their best player for a long time, and he should not be their best player.
I think we've all said. I know I've said that this whole year. It just felt like the entire team was waiting for the coach to get fired so they can move on. And then they did like the weirdest thing in the world where they brought in some other old guy that was just kind of hanging around, who everybody knows isn't going to be there after. And it's like you'd be in the same spot if you still had DJ Smith. So why not? It just feels a lot like Steve Saos is kind of being like Ron Francis, where you just like kind of sit on your hands for a little bit too long and you miss out on the opportunity that were probably in front of you to make a real change and actually change something this season. And instead, like I understand the long game, but it was just a weird move to bring that coach in at this time when there were so many other coaches out there, and you probably could have made a run for the playoffs. This year is not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, I know they're not going to make it this year. What about the other thing they did with their goalie coach? So they brought up a goalie coach from, was it the AHL team?
Yeah, I don't know. Out of
Transferred
nowhere,
out their goalie coach to make into development and that, and then they bring up the kid from AHL and put him in the net against Colorado. It's like, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, and then the coach too says that he looked at the analytics and that Korpisalo wasn't very good against Colorado. Not a lot of goalies are very good against Colorado.
Not a lot of
You
goalies
thought then, and to tell the media this, you thought that because of the analytics that you should put in the kid who played his first game of the season against them and then lose 7-4. Like, it's actually kind of funny how pathetic it is.
Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what other outcome they were thinking was going to happen.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see. Excuse me. Interesting to see how the rest of the season. Well, we pretty much know how the rest of the season is going to play out. They're probably not going to have a winning record for the rest of the season unless something dramatically changes. Sorry,
Bruce. Just going back to our conversation about the trade deadline. How do we feel about a guy like Duclair and Blackwood out of San Jose as a winger and a backup goaltender option?
I don't like it. I don't think Blackwood still has 1 or 2 years left.
He's got this season and then one more.
Yeah, so that doesn't fit. Duclair does make sense. He's not really a puck retriever in like my vision of what that winger should be.
He's more of a shooter, isn't he?
Yeah, he's more of Kane, what Kane is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously not with the physical side of it, but like a one-shot scorer. Fast. Like if Nuge wasn't playing so good with McDavid right now, I think that would be a better fit for him to play with McDavid and Hyman. It makes sense because San Jose sucks and they're going to sell these guys off for
that's kind of what I'm looking at.
Picks and nothing, and
the cap hits are low too. So
lower cap hits.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's a great fit.
Mm. The other guy I was looking at is Jason Zucker out of Arizona.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Physical.
I think he only has this year left. He has a decent cap number that would have to be retained quite a bit.
Yeah, I think it's 5.8.
5.3.
5.3.
To me, he's more of a third line player. I don't think that you want Pouty, Draisaitl being fed these third line guys anymore at this point. Because this whole year, that's what he's played with. So
yeah,
I think you want like a legitimate top six winger, and you just pay whatever you have to pay to get him. He has to have a low cap hit. He has to be able to retrieve the puck, actually be a top six forward on any other team. And that's the guy that you need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Would Matt Dumba be an upgrade over Cody Ceci?
No.
I don't think so. Not defensively and physically. I don't know. That's not for me.
As I was looking up Zucker's cap number here, I looked down. Arizona's entire defense is either a UFA or an RFA at the end of the season. Every one of them. They've got 4 UFAs and 4 RFAs at the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think any of those guys help.
I'd love Chris Tanev out of Calgary, but unfortunately they're winning too many games right now. I don't see that happening.
Even if they were out of it, they wouldn't trade him to Edmonton.
But he's a UFA at the end of the season, right?
Bunch for him.
Toronto would pay so much more than what Edmonton would.
Yeah.
To get him, which is also hilarious to think that it'd be TJ Brody Giordano, and Tanev all on the same team.
That's who
We'll take them all
makes,
back.
well, that's
Yeah.
who Toronto makes all their big trades with, right? Other than Florida, it's
Yeah.
Toronto.
Mhm.
Yikes.
What else we got, Bruce?
So we got Mr. Jack Eichel here is week to week after a surgery on a lower body injury. Tell me if you've seen this movie before. Oh, it's lower body this time. It's not upper body, so it's a different part of the body.
No, I had to laugh because I saw this on Twitter or X yesterday, and somebody had scratched out the cover of the Franklin book. It was like circumventing the cap or something, and then I can't what the caption was. It was just really funny. Franklin circumvents the cap, yeah. And so here's Jack Eichel on his deathbed.
Vegas is LTIR till the end of the season, so they can bring somebody in, and then Eichel's magically healed for the first game of the playoffs.
Yeah, like they just no timeline, right? Successful surgery for lower body injury, and now it's like he's just week to week. We don't really have a timetable for it, so it could last indefinitely until
the playoffs.
Until the playoffs. So
they got to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not.
The West isn't exactly locked up either anymore.
I'm just gonna pull that up again or two.
They've got enough players injured that them and Vancouver could both kind of really fall out of it. There isn't a lot of teams really pushing in the West aside from Edmonton, and Nashville's kind of hanging around. Seattle's starting to kind of go on a run. But I think it's going to be a lot tighter than we all thought it was going to be in December when Vegas was 20-some points ahead of Edmonton. Not quite that way anymore.
Well, it's Edmonton's only 6 points back, but they've got 4 games in hand on Vegas.
Yeah. And how many players are out right now for Vegas?
Yeah.
As well.
1 or 2. Let's see here. Vegas Golden Knights.
We've got Carlson, Theodore, Eichel. Chandler Stevenson's not doing anything right now, even though he's playing.
Yes.
Yep.
Marchessault's not doing anything, even though he's playing.
Barbashev's not doing anything. Actually, we'll talk about Barbashev in a bit here, but yeah, like just all their offense is kind of
their bottom 6, which was I don't want to say their entire team, but it was a huge majority of it last year in the playoffs, is doing nothing. Completely overperformed last year and are underperforming this year. Got off to a crazy start, but I don't think I think they're gonna be in tight to kind of finish where they hope to be.
Well, and they got goaltender issues again, right? So Hill is on IR. Thompson's been in and out of the lineup with whether it's been illness or injury. Like they've got 2 goalies up on emergency loan from the AHL right now.
It's interesting.
It's always fun in Vegas. You never know what's going to happen in Vegas with the Vegas itself or the team for that matter. So, but yeah, I didn't never. Yeah, when I read that, that's interesting. I didn't cap circumvention, right? So, and of course, Mark Stone, who's supposed to only play half a season with a bad back, is looking awfully damn good for the last pick of the draft that I got him in.
Yeah, he's exceeded everyone's expectations, no question.
So
still don't like him.
Yeah.
No.
He's helping my fantasy team win, so I'm okay with him for now. Speaking of returning from injury, Mr. Kyle Connor returned from injury against the Islanders. Just over 19 minutes time on ice. Just over almost 5.5 minutes on the power play. 6 shots on goal, 1 goal in his return. No Scheifele. Connor played between Lowry and Velarde. Lowry spent time on the first power play unit as well. And guess who lost all the ice time when Kyle Connor came back?
Ehlers.
Exactly. It's 14 minutes. Just over 14 minutes he played in Connor's return.
Shocker.
He get dumped down onto the third line.
What did Perfetti do? Because we were talking about that last week with Evan. I'm just
He
curious.
was on a line with Ehlers tonight.
Yeah, they played together, right? Him and Nemesnikov. But
yeah, they got like 14 minutes or so.
Oh, he was okay. So I mean, but that's kind of been what he's played all season is 14 and a half.
Yep.
His promotion was short-lived.
Yeah, 13-25 tonight or last night.
But they'll need Connor back, especially if Scheifele's out any length of time, which sucks for my fantasy team. But
well, I'm psyched to have Kyle Connor back on my fantasy roster, so that's good.
Speaking of fantasy rosters, this guy I've got in one league, and as he said, he's been absolutely stellar this season. Sam Reinhart has got 12 points in his last 8 games, 33 goals on the year. He's on pace for over 104 points over a full 82 game slate. Taken 97th overall or 9th round in Yahoo drafts this past year. I don't know if I took that late. I have to check to see what my draft thing on him was. But it was definitely later. Definitely returning some serious value. Shorthanded goal tonight. Reinhardt has become the second Panther to score 20-plus special team goals in a season since Pavel Bure in 2000-2001. That was from the Panthers PR team. Bure finished his season with 24 special teams goals. So half a season yet. So if Reinhardt can hold up, he can do some serious damage to that. So as of note, his shooting percentage is 27 points. Well, it's basically 28%. So, and you match that with a banged up Barkov, and might want to consider selling high on the 28-year-old. Yeah, I saw a couple of posts to that effect that a guy should probably be trading or looking to trade him. Question is, who do you trade him for?
Good question.
Get what you can.
What's that?
So get what you can.
Yeah, he's gonna regress at some point here for sure.
You look at a guy like maybe Jason Robertson. Maybe Robertson's been playing better as of late. But the thing with Reinhardt is he plays in all three scenarios: 5-on-5 power play and penalty kill. He's got 4 shorthanded goals this year.
Yeah.
Like, do you hope keep him to hope the magic goes, or you trade him off? Like, because Robertson if you go with Robertson, for example, he only plays 5-on-5 and power play. Rantanen's similar. He doesn't penalty kill either. Interesting scenario.
Maybe go buy low on Ovi.
Oh, I don't know if I'd do that trade. I think I'd take the regression as opposed to trading for Ovi.
Agreed.
But he is definitely one of the reasons why I'm up in the standings for our fantasy hockey hacks league this year.
Maybe he'll just continue shooting at 28%, Bruce, and
yeah, Besser's still doing it, and I traded him away. So
yeah,
Yep.
So it's take choice whether you stick with it or whether you go, right?
For sure. Well, hey, we blew past our break by about 8 minutes here, so I'm just thinking maybe we take just a brief break and then maybe want to jump into hot or not.
Okay, sounds good.
Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay.
Somebody wasn't watching. Who's supposed to watch the clock tonight?
I don't know anymore. Probably me.
I was going to let about 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden it just didn't happen.
Yeah, we'll be back in about 2 minutes here.
And welcome back to the oh my god. I can't even say it now.
Take two, Bruce.
Wow.
I can't even say it now. Welcome back to the Hacks Hangout here on Edmonton Sports Talk. I don't know if I should be talking tonight. Maybe I should just go to bed. Oh boy. All right. Let's jump into our hot or not section here. We have got a nice little list of players here. First guy on the list we talked about here very briefly on Sunday on the end of the show. There he is.
Nick Perbix.
Yes. I should probably just go to bed. So instead of scrolling, I clicked, and then my show notes just disappeared. So.
Can't wait for that time change.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, really. It's killing us. The time change, the time difference.
Yeah. So
I know it's like 7 o'clock where you are, Tyler, but I'm kidding.
Oh, all right. Devin, you want to continue with Mr.
Yeah,
Perbix?
sure. Well, Nick Perbix, we just talked about him, like you said, on Sunday as a depth option on defense for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Since the calendar flipped to 2024, he's averaged just shy of 22 minutes per game and 5 points with 1 goal in 6 games to show for his efforts. He provides a bit of category coverage as well. He's got 1 hit and 1 block per game over those 6 contests. So if you're desperate, you're looking for a D option, this is a guy that's been performing of late. I think Sergachev is still dealing with some injuries, right? So there's some ice time there to be spread around. Nick Perbix, give him a look. 1% rostered in Yahoo and 16% in Fantrax.
There you go. The next guy on the list isn't rostered much more, but he did score 2 goals last night. Mr. Ridley Greig of the Ottawa Senators. So he's having a solid season here for the Senators, playing at a 45-point pace over full 82-game season. Recently, Greig has 5 points, 2 goals in his last 4 games played. Cleared 18 minutes twice in 2 recent contests, playing first 9 minutes between Brady Tkachuk and Claude Giroux. And more recently, a role on power play 2 bodes well for the 21-year-old Greig. Solid category coverage as well. Recently, we're looking at plus minus, face-off wins, and hits. I even got the acronym right that time.
Attaboy. Not all's lost, Bruce.
He's kind of filling in nicely now that, for Josh Norris, right? Norris is out again with some kind of an injury, so he's filling in time on the first line. And he got their first 2 goals against Colorado the other night.
Yeah, he's looked good. I think, and he's hungry. He's a young guy that wants to do well. So, if you've ever heard Ryan talk about dynasty prospects, he loves Ridley Greig. So, anyway,
is Tyler shaking his head?
No, I'm just reading John's message.
Oh,
can't skate. Can't. Yeah, I can't either. Don't even worry about it. It's fine. Neither can Tyler, for that matter.
Yeah. Well, I definitely can. All right. John, you get to read the next one.
Oh, you're going to stick me with Mr. Philip Danault. He's rostered in 21% Yahoo, 39% in Fantrax there. One guy who's really benefited from the decline of Pierre-Luc Dubois. He's got 28 points so far this year. Oh, no wonder that looks weird. Perfect. Yes, 28 points so far this year. Currently on pace to set a new career high. 8 points, 2 goals in his last 6 games while averaging 18.5 minutes a game. Also 51% power play share. 339 power play time on ice per night. Danault received 339 power play time on ice against the Stars on Tuesday night, I should say. Excellent option for leagues that include face-off wins as a category, and also chips in with 0.8 hits a game. So you're definitely getting a little bit of category coverage there. In his last 5 contests, he's been just tremendous. Getting a decent amount of time on ice and putting up points. So you're definitely getting a good pick in there.
Can we just talk about what a bum Dubois is?
Oh,
absolutely. I was actually about to.
I hope he's on the not list. I haven't read any of this, obviously. You know that. But what an absolute bum he is. And you just love to hate him.
Yeah.
Because he's just a whiner.
He just seems like a terrible human.
Got all the money and just sucks.
Yep.
Just sucks. Goes wherever he wants to go somehow. And then just sucks.
Yeah, we ripped him, I think, on maybe 2 other episodes that you weren't here for, Tyler. But we spent a lot of time griping about Pierre-Luc Dubois. So we're right there with you, man, for sure.
What a loser.
Realize it's only half a season in, but at this point, it looks like Cheveldayoff absolutely fleeced LA with this. Like, it's...
Oh, yeah.
Yikes.
And almost all of that, though, is on Dubois. That's all on the player because he has everything to score 40, be an 80-point guy, and he's just a bum. It's just a bum.
They gave him all the deployment you'd want to, right? They gave him every opportunity.
Every contract he's got has been more than he should have got.
Yeah,
he's whined his way to anywhere he wanted to be. I'm surprised. Like, he should play in the NBA. And he probably still wouldn't score there. So,
oh man,
just the worst.
I mean, we talked about PLD a lot, but you're really bringing the heat, buddy. Like I can feel the hatred from here.
I just can't stand him. And when he plays, and obviously this is like going back to talking about Edmonton, which I try not to do, but when he plays the Oilers, he is such a rat. And I'm sure there's other teams that he does it against, and I just notice it more against Edmonton. But he's just a rat. Like he'll chase around McDavid or Draisaitl. He'll always stick somebody and do nothing offensively, but he'll run around and only do that with his tinted visor on. He's the worst. He's the worst. Sorry. That's all I got on him.
This is good. I love it. That's great insight.
Sorry. And Tyler, you get to talk about the next guy.
Okay, we're done talking about Dubois. Jerry McCann, I'm not sure why he's on here because he's rostered 64% in Yahoo. 40 goals last year, 53 point, 32 goals, 2-goal season is nothing to be ashamed of. 8 points, 3 goals over his last 10 games. Kind of just what he's done the last kind of 3 years here. Still doing it. So
there you go.
And they need some scoring because they've had a little issue here in the past couple of games with scoring some goals.
They're really missing that kind of one-shot scorer on that team. If they had it, they'd be a lot scarier team to play against than what they are.
Yeah.
And I see they moved Grubauer to long-term injured reserve now too, just from IR to LTIR. So
they're not really missing him between Decord and Drieger. There's really no.
Oh, they're freeing up cap space, right? So if Grubauer is gone now, they can use his cap space, that $5 million, and go possibly make a trade for someone that can help him.
That cap space is infinitely more helpful than Grubauer will be at any point this season.
Maybe we can trade it.
I don't think they're going to end up doing much though. Like, I think their goaltending is kind of peaked a little too early here in the season. I don't think that's sustainable for the rest of the year. That's something that you want to happen in like the last month of the season, last 2 months of the season. And if they don't add kind of that one-shot score, and if they don't play the way that Seattle needs to play to win, where the entire team just forechecks and plays as a group, then they're not going to do much.
It'll be interesting to see, right? So they just came off was that a 9-game winning streak here? They lost to the Rangers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're playing well.
The next guy on our list here is Seth Jarvis, rostered 71% in Yahoo, 84% in Fantrax. Mr. Jarvis has arrived, ladies and gentlemen. 10 points, 4 goals in his last 10 games. The Canes' 2020 first rounder is on pace for 63 points and 29 goals. Add to that nearly 1.5 hits per game and a role in the top power play unit, you have a very valuable fantasy asset. I had no idea. No idea at all.
He's having a hell of a season, and dual eligibility is always nice too.
Very nice.
Prominent player.
Wing. Yeah.
Important player for them moving forward for sure.
You bet. And that does it for the hot list. Now for the not list. Oh, who wants to talk about the first one on this list?
John can.
John can? All right.
Oh, just because I have to share a name with him. First on the not list, we've got Johnny Tavares. Roster 97%, Yahoo 96% Fantrax. 0 points in his last 5 games played. His 66-point pace is his lowest since his rookie season in 09-10. With a 7% Tevish, the Leaf center is not getting much puck luck, and a career low 8.1% ish. Represents career low as well. Things should rebound soon, but it just hasn't been there.
Looking at his contract, you really hope it rebounds, but
11 million.
Hard to say.
Yikes!
And how old is he now? Too like he's
getting up there.
He's
33. It's 33, but it looks like the decline is maybe. Obviously, his numbers say that he's not really declining; he's just unlucky. But you see some of the plays. They had the goalie pulled. He kind of pulled up at the blue line and then just threw this wild shot into the corner. I'm not sure. They were down by 2 goals. I'm not sure what he's expecting to do with that. He makes a lot of plays like that. Like if you watch Leafs games, he makes a lot of plays like that. That like if you just chip that into the corner where your player can go get it instead of throwing it across to the opposite corner where it can bounce out of the zone like it did. Just kind of dumb stuff like that.
Yeah.
Might be contributing to his numbers.
To his dumb luck.
Well,
Oh,
the
that
dumb play
lack
is
of-
contributing
yeah.
to his
lack
no
of puck
luck.
luck on the ice, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, 8% shooting, like that's interesting, right?
Mhm.
As many
Well, I
years he's
think
been in the league.
even Keefe has kind of pointed out that his line hasn't really done anything in their last couple of games before they played Edmonton. I think against Colorado they didn't do anything, and Edmonton was trying to match McDavid against Tavares because of the matchup there with his lack of speed against
Mhm.
McDavid.
Mm-hmm.
And really, if you watch him play, this lack of speed against a lot of other centers would be a problem.
One thing I'll point out here as a positive for him, that he's shooting the puck probably at the best rate of his career at 11.7 shots on goal per 60. So he's got that going for him. If he keeps shooting the puck, hopefully not wildly into the corner, Tyler, as you said, but if he can
I'm
shoot the
telling you.
puck in the right direction, that shooting percentage should turn around pretty quick.
All right. Next guy on the list is Mr. Ivan Barbashev, Vegas Golden Knights. So Barbashev had a fantastic playoff performance en route to Vegas' Stanley Cup. However, 1 point in his last 9 games, boo, and just 19 points to date this season. Barbashev is now on pace for just 35 points this season. Recent injury news for Eichel hinders the center depth for Vegas, and Barbashev should probably find himself on the waiver wire. And I think he is in both our leagues. I think he's out there.
Yeah, that's probably where he should be, to be honest.
Mhm.
He had 18 points and 7 goals in 22 games for Vegas during the playoffs. So a 67-point pace. Looked really good playing with Marchessault and Eichel. But yeah, with no Eichel and with Marchessault playing the way he is and no center depth right now, it's just,
Yeah, they literally have no center depth right now. It's
ugly. It's ugly.
It's ugly.
Yeah.
It's tough too because he's had one really good season,
Yeah.
really in his career, and then he had a really good run after his trade to the Stanley Cup. So, is this actually what he is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this kind of looks like it, Tyler. If you look at his numbers, like 82 game pace, 33, 20, 27, 31, 26, and then 61 points in 21, 22 when he had 26 goals. And then 45-point pace last season coming over to Vegas in the trade deadline, and then 35-point pace this year. So, and the shot volume, there's really nothing to speak of in terms of shots. So
He doesn't shoot.
Yeah, that might just be what he is. Had one good year and one good playoff run.
Just too bad because I'm guessing he got drafted probably middle.
Second
Middle.
round draft pick, 33rd overall.
Yeah,
High second round pick.
yeah, you'd kind of expect more out of a player like that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. All right, let's move on to Devin. You want to talk about the next guy?
Yeah, sure. We love Keandre Miller, 44% rostered in Yahoo and 74% in Fantrax. I think anyone playing Dynasty or Keeper Leagues will tell you this guy's someone you want to have in your roster. But he's taken a bit of a step back offensively this season. He's got 0 points in his last 9 games. Fourth-year D-man, he's on pace for just 32 points this season. However, Miller's ice time is up slightly this year. I'm talking like seconds on average, but still it is up, which is fine. And then career best 14.3-ish puts the Rangers blue liner on pace for 14 goals over a full 82-game campaign. So he's in a bit of a lull right now, but there's a bit of reason for optimism too. So,
Yikes! And I have him on one of my fantasy teams too. Although there isn't a whole lot much better on the wire anyway. So,
I mean, could be a nice buy low option. We've talked about him quite a bit in past episodes, and the problem with him is he's buried on the depth chart, right? He's not going to get power play 1 time.
Or power play 2 time.
Or power play 2 time. Yeah, like it's going to be tough for him. So, but he does provide some category coverage and not a terrible player to roster.
All right, Tyler, you want to talk about the next guy?
No. Riley Smith coming off 26 goal, 56 point season last year, struggling his first year with the Penguins, on pace for just 41 points, and now dealing with an upper body injury. He's going to miss some significant time with somebody that I thought would have had a lot better season going to Pittsburgh. Obviously, Pittsburgh was kind of hoping for that too. Might have been better off just keeping Zucker, but maybe not.
Well, and Zucker threw a ton of hits last year. I don't know the exact number, but he was really physical. I kind of tend to agree with you, Tyler. It might have been better just to keep him.
Yeah.
We talked about it on Sunday. You weren't here for it. Rickard Rakell, though, looks really good for Pittsburgh. Playing on that line with Crosby and Gensel, and he's playing on power play 1 and great shot rate.
Which is odd because he never used to shoot a lot.
It's about time.
Yeah, I know he's shooting the puck lots, which is great. Just looking at Zucker's numbers, I was curious. 2.54 hits per game.
That's a nice number.
Lots of hits. That's why I kind of liked him as an option in Edmonton, as a bottom 6 guy, if you can get him for the right price.
I think it's cap hit's like $5 million though, isn't it?
It's a problem. Like you'd have to
5.5, something like that.
Yeah, it's tough.
He got the we have lots of money to spend contract.
Yeah.
Well, when I think he signed that, it was like a 5 or 6 year deal too at that number.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, speaking of Arizona, Tyler, did you make your way to Mullet Arena while you're down there?
No, just like everybody else that lives there, nobody goes there because it's in the middle of nowhere.
I've just heard the atmosphere is actually a lot of fun. Like if you can get there to a game, just because
because you get 30 people in like a bedroom.
Yeah, and it seems like a rocking party, right?
Yeah.
So you go to Mullet Arena, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it is actually like it really is. From where we were in North Phoenix, so
Okay.
to get there, like it's a nightmare to actually like get to Tempe. So I can see why people don't go out there.
Okay, no chance. Fair
No
enough.
chance.
Yikes. All right. The last guy on our list tonight is Mr. Marco Rossi of the Minnesota Wild. Rossi recently appeared to have turned a corner offensively earlier this season, but his play has really cooled off here as of late with 0 points in 5 games. Yeah, I noticed that. He's on one of my fantasy teams. And his ice time took a major dip to just over 13 minutes. Saw that too against the Islanders on Monday. Still an even strength role alongside Kirill Kaprizov and Matt Zuccarello was hard to pass up when considering Rossi's potential for the rest of the season. I know, but yikes, need some people to score points. I have like 4 players that are putting up all my points, and the rest are just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah, it's tough, especially in a keeper dynasty format. You're not going to drop Rossi, but
No.
Mm-hmm.
he's not doing much right now to speak of. So
No, and with Bedard out, he's had a chance at the rookie points lead, but not if he's playing like that.
I still think it should be Faber. If that's kind of my guy right now, unless Bedard can come back and in good time.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Faber.
Yeah. Tyler's giving us the wave here. Yeah, like I think that's pretty much all we have for tonight here, guys. So
Yeah.
We can wrap it up here for 11 o'clock. I think there's not a hard deadline, Tyler. It's okay. Don't worry.
He's like,
it's all good.
I'm just trying to help out.
No, I appreciate that. We actually, if we wanted, we have another 30 minutes here we can run on Edmonton Sports Talk, but we're not going to because we've gone through everything we had planned to talk about tonight. So, Bruce, if you want to roll the outro, we will get you to bed.
Someone deleted the outro off the bottom of the show notes.
We are getting some chat in there now, I see, though.
Oh, are we? Okay, look at this. Here we go.
Wow.
Tyler Stash.
Tyler Stash should go on the hot list. Yeah, okay. We'll put that on the hot list. Yeah, here you go, buddy. Tyler, you like that one?
I do, but I can't. Oh, Rozak.
Thanks, Leah. Yeah, we
Yes,
agree.
thank you.
Tyler should rock the Muzzy full time. No question.
There you go.
Well,
All
Bruce,
right.
since your notes are right in front of you, I'll just let the people know that they should follow us on Twitter or X at FHHacks. And that's really all we need to know.
That's all you need to know.
And that's it.
That's
all right.
That's all.
Cue the music. Let's get out of here, boys.
Bye, Felicia.
Good night.
Oh, see you later.
Take care.